Hey guys, what's up? ZBLDS here. Welcome to the next airport update video. This one you're probably like gasping and you're like, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at the airport. And I've got good news for you to go along with that huge gasp. The airport's halfway done. I know. Things can happen in a month, can't they? Well, it's a little bit different than you might think. And you can't tell at the moment, but what you're looking at is the airport on the server. There's been three main changes to the airport. Three main ones. First one, as I just told you, the airport will now be located on the server. I'll include the IP, the owner's channel in the description. And if you're wondering what the server is, it's Persian World. So you guys can come on. Though, at the moment, though, they have a really weird system where it wasn't like this when I first joined, like a year and a half ago. But don't expect to be able to get in the airport right now, because where it is right now is it's in like a storage world. And the main world, even like I think to new players, is off limits. I think you have to fill out an application. Don't worry, I'll be like talking with the owners like to figure out a way that people can, when the airport's done, can see all the work, and see the airport without having to go through that entire process. So don't worry about that. I'll be discussing that with them. Second main change is that the airport is now, this is one I had to think about for a long time, because this was very important. And I knew if I did this, it would already make me almost closer to being finished with the airport just by making this one change. And that change is the airport is now 1.5 to 1 scale. So what you're looking at and how big it is an airport for 1.5 to 1 scale. And I'll show a diagram later to go along with why I made that change, because it was a hard decision for me to make, truly. And I know probably you like right now are disliking the video because it's like, oh my gosh, all that hard work. I've been I was hoping he would between him going to a server, there's gonna be no more download, all that. It's just awful. Well, I really want to get this airport done, and I knew that me being, me would never get a 2 to 1 scale one done. And there was a lot that I could do along with it that, 1.5 to 1 scale is still good. And you'll still be able to come on. You'll still be able to do all that. And, it's just, I really want to get this airport done. And I'm making sure not to sacrifice quality, because all what you see, is still top-notch work, in my opinion, for me, to the best I can do. And you're about to see, how big this is. And if it was 2 to 1, I would probably never be able to get it done. So we're inside right now. I mean, you can check out. Pretty sweet roof, in my opinion. Worked really hard on that. Took a while. This is right here is like a mid-shop. This is the upstairs section where there's small shops. There's gonna be larger shops and stuff at the end. You'll see on the diagram later when I show you it, because there was a lot of changes I had to make after building this and what I had to realize would happen to the original terminal design. Other than that, right here I'm thinking about every the area here, every other area, maybe having a nice big unique tree. That'd be cool. A unique one, different types, and then having benches around them, and every other one. So the one over there would have a newsstand instead, and then would go to the next unique tree. And if we can walk down the escalator right here, you can see the little notification boards. There's gonna be advertisements along the wall here. Trash cans. Simple. Also, ignore what's coming up with the numbers, because I just wanted to put some numbers in so I could see what it would look like, because I'm not sure what gates these are yet. I haven't decided, because the airport isn't done. But we can walk through to pseudo gate 1 here, and I'll show it off with the monitors, some pots, benches, and then here's with the flight information and the desk, front desk. You give me your boarding pass, priority and first class line, and then standard economy line. Every unique gate, what company owns it will have its logo design right there. That's Air Persia. I'll be showing more of that later, but it's the parody of American Airlines now, because it was originally that on the server, and it's better than what I came up with. Okay, so now that we're over here, what these are right here are cell phone chargers, because a lot of airports are putting them in now. And so I put in some cell phone chargers. And then these are like little computer stations, that's right, where you can put your laptop down. But I mean, if you look at this though, I mean, it's huge just for 2 gates, right? I mean, look at all the seats. If this is 2 to 1, and you know, it took me a long time to figure this out, but once I started building, I realized that 2 to 1, the seats themselves, like, they would have to start being, you know, huge. Like, I would have to start, like, deliberately making an attempt to make seats, like, that are, like, multiple blocks, you know, tall and stuff. And then, once you get into that realm, it starts to look really weird. So, that's that. Now, I forgot to go in the jetway / jet bridge. So, you can see here, gate, who knows. Also, I recommend, the texture pack. I might also put it down, like a link for that as well in the description, because it makes the airport look a lot better, and actually without the texture pack it looks really weird, because this is the official server texture pack. But these I might make them a darker gray, because they're a little hard to see, the keypad code. Well, let's go through the jet bridge, the new design, which I'm actually really happy with. So you walk, very nice. Ignore the plane, those are all being redone. Because the only reason why I'm using it is because the wingspan is correct on this A330. So, I needed to make the markings for the tarmac. And to do that, I needed to have a plane in there, and I thought the A330 was a good size. And I made sure that the wings were the right size, and they are, so that's why it's there. But the length and the width and the height, they're wrong, so ignore that. So yeah, the warning tape, little bend in it, which I didn't have before for some reason, so I'm smart. And then we get to the very end here, with the controls, the exit, which you can go down. Not when you're a passenger, but I can go down it, because, you know, walk back up. But I mean, you can see how much realer it looks, yeah, than the other one I made, because it's got like the wires and like the controls and all that stuff that makes it look real. Exit through here, and then you have like the overhead canopy, which, you know, kind of like, I don't know, it's like a cover basically. And then ignore the inside of this, because they're all being redone. It's kind of funny though, because this gate actually can fit a 747 and can just barely fit an A380, as long as you don't have a 747 or another A380 in the other gate, which I don't think you would, or I don't think any airport would do that. But you can fit them in there, so that's how big these gates are. But I don't plan on putting A380s in here. Maybe if I need to, like, plop a 747 800 in there, it's all good. But I guess I'll go on to the next portion, which is explaining my reasoning to why I changed a little bit more in depth, so you guys can understand, and instead of clicking that dislike button, you know, actually understand where I'm coming from. So I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Okay guys, welcome to my reasoning. As you can see, or I don't think you guys can see, but we're in Photoshop. And I put this together because the airport is going to be for Persia's new world called Hestia. And I just wanted to put it in perspective. So what you see, like this big massive green right here, this is the area for the airport. This little block that you can just barely see, like of like gray, that's where the city's going to be. It's going to be much bigger than that, but that's like just locating where the city's going to be. And you can see the terminals. Ignore Terminal 1's design, and just like the design of the terminals themselves, the layout will still be the same, but just ignore like what they look like, because they need to be changed. I'll go into depth in a little bit later on that. But I want you to take a notice right here. This, what you can see right here, this is Persia's New Shadow Point. And if you do go on the server, I recommend going to New Shadow Point and all this area. This is their old airport, and so I'll give a link to like one of the airport videos that the Persian of Asia has made, and you can see how big that airport is. And this is the airport in 1.5 to 1 scale. So look how massive the airport is. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I'm using my hand right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, almost 7 new shadow points, which is a parody of New York City, wide, and then with its tallness, yeah, that's a word, right? I'm calling it tallness because I don't know if it's the length or the width, or if that will make sense. But if you take it again, we'll zoom in here, you can see the city, how massive it is. It's huge. These are all individual buildings, and they're big buildings too. So this is 1.5 to 1 scale. Imagine how big the airport would be. And once I put this together, I realized that I couldn't do a 2 to 1 scale, at least not with my schedule and school and, having a life outside of Minecraft and other stuff. Without a massive team of 20 people, and I know 20 of you right now are commenting oh, but I'll help out. It's just I don't think it's gonna work, because a lot of people on Persian World, and I'm getting a lot of help on Persian World too, a lot of the help I got with the terminal, as you saw a little bit ago. So, but they're just experienced people and they know what they're doing along with me, and I'm kind of the head director of it, head chief of the airport. So guys, I'll see you guys in a little bit when I show you the rest of the stuff I've worked on, because it's quite a bit in the month I've been gone. See ya. Hey guys, welcome back. And so this is the airport plan, the new one. Showed you guys the last one in part 5. Completely revamped. Actually, some of the stuff's so new that I actually need to update. Did I update it? Yeah, I did. Okay, so never mind. So what you see for the gates is correct. Ignore that. So a lot of the stuff is still the same. The basic layout of the airport's still the same. It's basically the same airport, except with changes that I had to make based on what I found when I was building the actual terminal. I actually needed to change things, and so more changes might be inbound at one point. But the airline companies are completely revamped. Actually, there's a couple more. There might be 1 or 2 more joining, depending on what happens with the airport, how many gates I can actually determine to fit, because 12 right now is the limit, but we might be able to fit 1 or 2 more. One airline company I'd like to get in is a parody of Air France, and one more that I just can't think of off the top of my head. But that's what I'd like to happen. Whether or not it will happen, I'm not sure. So still 4 passenger terminals, 96 gates, which I think is 2 more than last time, just because of what I found out editing the Terminal 1. So the Terminal 2 design might change as well, and then there might be even more gates. I don't know. Just depends on what happens. So the companies are different. The first one, Inca Airlines. I think Thor, who's on the server, did this parody of Avianca. It's pretty good. I like it. You'll get to see the tail designs in a little bit when I show them off. Second one is Kanger. Again, someone came up with that one on my channel. Everyone on Persian World loves it, so we're keeping that one. Havilland Airways, which is a parody of British Airways. That is a nod to another server owned by the, I think he's one of the developers of Persian World. He has his own server called Havilland, and it's basically a remake of London and England and just in general the British Empire. It's always weird deciding when to use England or, just in general Britain, but Britain, England parody. So that's where Havilland comes from. Lufthansa, it's in here finally. Probably should have been in there from the beginning. I came up with this one. It's kind of a nod to one of the first German aircraft manufacturers, Messerschmitt. So it's Messerschmitt. Also, I like World War II, so it's kind of my nod towards that. Emirates Bondi. I think that's one of the new parodies. Oh, I forgot to mention it. The airport that I'm building for Persian World is going to be going on their new world because they're starting up a new one. Not sure if I'm supposed to be saying this, but I will anyways. It's going to be called Hestia, So the airport's name is actually going to be probably changed to probably like Hestia International Airport, or Hestia and then whatever city's right next to it, International Airport. You know, so also it sounds a lot better than Diamond. I mean, Diamond's kind of cheesy. So that's that. Asahi Airlines is a parody of JAL. Asahi means rising sun in Japanese. And since the tail design of JAL kind of does, it's like an opposite rising sun, you get to see in a bit. So that's where the name comes from. Omega Airlines is replacing Aero Airlines. I know, my main airline, but this is better because Omega is another Greek symbol, just like Delta. So that's where Omega comes from. Also, it's another good symbol to put on the back of a plane. Air Persia, as I showed previously in the video, it's a American Airlines parody, as Persian World is a parody of the United States. Jet Red, Jet Blue. And then Air Canada is Maple Way Air. It's pretty cool. Didn't have that one last time. Alright, we don't have United, just because everyone agrees that United's boring. Like, their service is good, just, you know, it's a boring company to make. It's just another white plane with gray and blue, even though a lot of them have white, blue, and red, although United has a gray, blue, white, and, like, gold now. It's taken from Continental. And then the cargo is changed, ups and fed up, or I mean downs and fed up. It's replacing, yeah, ups and UPS and FedEx, because these are the two parodies on Persian World of those two companies. Okay, so now like I'm not gonna go through this. I'll just show the airplanes, but this is like the list of all like the fleets of all the different companies, like what planes they have. And there'll be like, there won't just be like one of each at the airport, like some will have multiple, like obviously the smaller ones will have multiple of their planes. And then the airframes, this is, I'll show this. These are the different planes that will be built, a lot more than originally planned, just because I can like bump them out a lot quicker. So that's how that goes. A330, 200, A330, and I'm also glad that I can put in a lot of like the variations of the aircraft, makes it a lot more authentic. And then we just kind of go down the list until we get to like the MD-90 and the Embraer. And that's it for that. And then let's move on to this. What you're looking in front of you now is I made this graphic. These are all inclined to change, in fact. I'll probably be changing like one or two to a bit better design. Because like Bondi right now, I mean, it's like a carbon copy of Emirates' back. You know, so I might change that. Omega Airlines basically looks exactly like Delta, except the Omega symbol. Kangar, very similar, just has a black through it. Havilland, I kind of like this one. This is one of my favorites, because it takes like the wavy shape of the British Airways logo, but it like straightens it out, so it makes it more like polygonal. So that's kind of cool. Messerschmitt, just the colors of like a BF-109. Asahi, just like replaced, looks like a rising sun. Air Persia, that's the Air Persia tail. Bondi, I discussed that. Jet Red, simple enough. Maple Way Air, it's kind of like, I forget what it's called, but Air Canada has like something, I don't know what it is. It's not their domestic like flights, but like, you know how like a lot of the companies have like smaller aircraft for like, you know, interstate and like just, you know, between like small, like close states travel. It's not that, but the tail design's kind of taken from that. I mean, it's slightly different. Like I added like the light blue and stuff. And then Inca Airlines, that tail design I didn't come up with. That was created by Thor, and I just kind of made it in Photoshop. And I will get back to you with the last big thing that I'll show off in the video before sending you guys off. Alright, see you in a couple seconds. Okay, I'm back. And before I show you the changes, I just wanted to show you the original terminal design for number 1. like the one terminal design. And as you can see, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the Abu Dhabi like terminal, the new one that they're putting in. It's just going to be basically like one of two terminal designs at my airport. This is going to be the international terminal, like the one where the big planes are. I mean, even Terminal 2 has A380 and 747 slots, but this is going to be like the big one, like where most people come in, most people come out, that kind of thing. But it didn't work for two reasons. One, well, it didn't work because of really only one reason. Because this right here cannot be slanted like this or this. These two things cannot be slanted like that. I tried it out. Me and a couple of guys worked on it. Like, we bent it and rolled that in and stuff. Like, we bent it the slightest we could, like, to try to get it to even come closest. We could only get it to, like, this angle right here. Like, this is straight, right? We could only get it like this. Like, not even close to, like, this bend. And it looked awful inside. It's like you couldn't do anything with it. So, that design had to go. And so, I spent about a couple days trying to come up with something new that I could use the original, like, you know, thing. And I came up with an idea, and what I basically did is I decided to merge a couple different airport designs into one. And so this is what I came up with. So if you can picture, also by the way, what I showed you in Minecraft, like actual Minecraft, was like this right here. So like this, that would be like that type of section, or this type of section. So as you can see, we got the A380 slots. 747s can also go like here, 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 and here. They can also go in these gates too. Probably recommended that they go in these gates. Also, there's been an extension where there's going to be the 5 gates, and then 4 gates. So that brings like the total up to like 4 more gates than there used to be, which is good. Because it's better to have more gates at the airport, just in general. So the same design pretty much stays the same. You got the 2 wings, concourses going up, then you have the 2 going out from the side, main entrance here. If you can picture, like, these dark spots right here represent like a wave, so like if you watch my mouse, kind of does this. I may even show a picture of what I'm talking about. In fact, let me put one up right now so you can visually see what this section looks like in general. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. In fact, this is very similar to how it's going to look. So, just food for thought right there. That's what it's going to look like for the main section now. I'm kind of happy because it makes it easier. It also, I mean, it looks cool. But at the same time, I'm not, because every airport seems to do that. Every single one, like that I've seen in Minecraft, always seems to have this, not this wave pattern back here, but just like this overhang like this. And so it's kind of sad that I got rid of the other one, because it was just too hard to get the original design. Like, oh, why don't you just, you know, modify the wings to be straight and keep, you know, the main basic shape. And I tried that a couple times, but it just, without the bend in the wings, it's just way too hard. Like, it looks so awkward, it's beyond belief. It's like either it's too thin, like the main area is too small, and it looks really off, and I can't get like the front to match up correctly, or it's way too big. Like, it looks fine, but then the wings look way too small, and the front is just huge. Like, it's absolutely gigantic, and so it just couldn't work. So guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to keep up with the stuff. Oh, by the way, also, if you're wondering what's happening with the 2-to-1 plans, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'll probably be putting them up on my Planet Minecraft page within the next couple of weeks. I have to warn you though, I'll probably make a video when I actually put them up for download about this more in depth, but basically what I'm going to be doing is a 3-strike system, where if I see people using the planes in videos and stuff and claiming them as their own, or like just slightly modifying them, and I mean I can tell when things are just slightly modified, and then claiming them as their own, or using them in big projects. Like, okay, so I mean, again, I'm getting way in depth for this video, as it's been going on for like 20 minutes now. But if you want to use them in like a big project, like an airport of your own or something, or on a server, you have to contact me, like through YouTube, or I don't know, I might put up my email, might not, but I mean, if you don't, it's a 3-strike system, and how it works is, if I catch 3 different instances of, you know, people using my planes without permission, I take away the download for whatever it is. However, this is the catch, and this is where you guys get involved. If you find my planes being used without my permission, like by people who claim them either as their own, or it's in a big project like an airport or a server, like that, you know, they're going to put up and claim, you know, the whole project as their own, and you find them and you notify me, like you send me a message about it, I take away a strike, and there's no strike counted against that video. So it's very beneficial for you guys to, like, find this stuff and notify me about it so that I don't find out myself. And, you know, it works both ways, because my stuff stays protected and the downloads stay up. And the people who, you know, steal and, you know, claim stuff as their own, you know, which they shouldn't. I mean, you know, why not just download the stuff and enjoy it as it is? Why try to gain popularity of other people's stuff? But, you know, it punishes them. Like, they don't get away with it. So, you know, all 3 points of that sound great to me. Hope they sound great to you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video, where probably is up tomorrow, because I have a lot of stuff done that I want to show you. Alright guys, see ya.